So in this training, we're going to show you how to find and attract top trade talent for your company. You really need to get on top of this, because if you can't find this trade talent, it's going to completely stifle your growth, or you're going to be paying over the top to bring on people that are subpar and are not delivering for you. So if you use this strategy, which many members of our mastermind are, it's really going to transform how you find talent. So let me show you how it works. There's 4 things that have to happen in this to make this work. So let's just quickly draw a circle here and just split that into 4. So the first thing that has to happen is you need to be able to find the talent that's out there. And where people make a mistake with finding talent is they might ask a couple of people and they don't get any results, and they think, well, there's no one out there, I don't know where to find someone. Or they might just try and find 1 or 2 people out there instead of filling their funnel full of leads. The reality is, when you're trying to find people, is you need to view it like a sales funnel like this. You're filling the top of the funnel with leads like this, and you want to move them down the funnel gradually until eventually they sign up with you. Now, as you move down the funnel, this funnel is going to get smaller and smaller. You might bring in, say, 10 candidates up here, but as you move down into this bit, when you're sending them a job description and when they're sending you CVs, it might drop down to 4 candidates. When you're actually interviewing, that might drop down to 2 candidates, and then eventually it might just be 1 candidate that signs up for you and comes on board. But you need to think of it like a funnel. What we need to do when we're finding candidates is fill that funnel full of the right type of leads. So how do we go out there and find top trade talent? Well, there's a few ways of doing this. One of the first things that you could try and do is ask for referrals from your current employees. Now, this is a really good strategy because your current employees likely know other tradespeople. They probably have friends that are tradespeople too, but also they're not going to recommend someone that's absolutely useless, because that will come back to bite them. So don't forget to ask your current crop of employees if they know anyone that are looking for work, and you might even want to pay a referral fee if they bring someone on board. That could be pretty useful. So that's the first thing you could do. The second thing you want to do is leverage social media. Now, what we want to do on social media, there's a few ways of doing this. The first thing we want to do is just post it on our own personal profile and say we're looking for someone. We're expanding as a company. We're looking to bring on an extra carpenter or a joiner. Now, the reason we do that is because your friends and family are going to see that. They're going to want to help you find someone, so they're likely going to share that post or ask people to share the post. And what that's going to do is that's going to expand the algorithm. All of a sudden now, you're posting to maybe your 500 friends, but now it goes out to potentially thousands of people if it keeps getting shared by your friends. So that can be really useful. So you use the power of your friends and family to spread on the algorithm on social media. The second place that is a really good place for finding people is your local community groups. So I live in a place called Eleanora, and we've got what we call an Eleanora community group. So you join that group, and people are really helpful on there. If they need a gardener or window cleaner or electrician, whatever it is, people post on there and will happily recommend someone. It works the same when you're looking for trades. Say we're expanding, we're looking for a great carpenter to join us. You know, you've potentially got thousands of people in that community group that again can share it or might know someone that's looking for work. This is actually a really undervalued strategy that really works. So make sure you leverage social media in that way to find people. The other thing that you can also do to find people is use job sites like Check a Trade, which is in the UK. There's going to be other ones in Australia and the US that are very similar, but these sites are ones where people pay for leads. So they're generally quite low quality sites. People join these, tradespeople join these because they're running out of work and they're trying to find leads. So what often happens is people will join them and then they'll get really frustrated because it doesn't actually bring in a quality of leads that they're currently looking for. So there's often a ton of candidates that are tied into a 12-month contract with Check a Trade. They've tried it for 1 or 2 months, realised it's useless, and they're desperate for work. So why not contact these people? Look for ones that maybe have 5 to 10 reviews. You don't want people that have got hundreds of reviews because they're established and that's a lead magnet that's working for them. But there's going to be a load on there that haven't got that and potentially could be really good tradespeople but haven't actually got the business sense to get an established business at that time. So that can be really useful too. That's just 3 strategies. There's loads more than that, but that's just 3 just to get you started. You have to fill that funnel up full of leads. Once you've found the right candidates, you then need to attract them to your business. Now, there's a few ways of attracting people. The first thing that is an absolute must is you must ensure your brand looks attractive. When people look at your website and they look at your social media channels, do you look like a company I want to work for? Are you delivering the type of projects that I want to do? Because that's how people are going to be judging you. As soon as you reach out to them, they're going to look at your website and social. So make sure your brand is on point. We often think about brand as only appealing to clients out there, but it actually is just as important for finding and attracting top trades. So do a little bit of a brand audit and make sure you look like an attractive company when you're using your brand. Do you look nice and professional? Are all your people wearing nice uniforms? Do you have nice smart vans? All of that is part of a brand and attracts good talent towards you. The other things you can do with attract is think about your job adverts. If you are going to use other means of finding people like job adverts, you might be putting stuff on sites like Indeed and other sites like that. That can really work. It's a great strategy to use, but you need to make sure you attract people the right way on your job adverts and make your job adverts sound really exciting. Make it sound like you've got a nice dynamic environment to come and work in, and talk about why it's good to work for you. That can attract people to you. So don't neglect the job advert. Some people put absolutely useless job adverts out there and they wonder why they don't get any inquiries. So we've got full trainings on how to do the right job advert, but that's really important, and people can help you with that if you're unsure of how to do a good job advert. So that's the attract side. The next thing you need to be able to do, once you've found them and attracted them to you, this often gets forgotten. You now need to sell that person to come and work for you. Some people just expect, they do interviews and you're trying to qualify the person and weed out the rubbish on interviews, but part of the interview process is actually selling yourself to the client. You don't want to sound desperate, but at the same time, it's a hot trades market. It's a hot market out there, so they don't have to come and work for you. So you do need to do some work in selling your business to them. So when you're selling it, make sure you talk about what the benefits are of coming to work for you. So think about those benefits. It might be that you offer a 4-day week, or you work half a day on a Friday, or I don't know, you all go out for beers on a Friday, whatever it is after work. Think about what some of your benefits are. You may have a gym membership that doesn't cost you a lot, that everyone gets involved in, or something like that. So this is really important, and you do have to have some benefits for a company. Otherwise, what's going to make you attractive? It becomes about, if you don't offer benefits, is money, and we don't want it always to be about that. So that's really important with the sell side. And the other thing we have to do too is think about the career progression of the person and sell that to them also. What does the career progression look like? Do you eventually want them to be a site foreman and then moving on to becoming a project manager, or maybe moving into the office to do some stuff? That's really important too, because people want to come on board and know that they're moving somewhere and getting somewhere in business. So sell the future to them also. They might not be the right candidate for that, but at the moment you don't know that. So sell that future to them, and you never know, they might want to be able to do that for you. So you've done these 3 things. Let's imagine now the person has come on board and they said, yeah, you look like a great company to work for. The last thing you have to do is work out how to retain them. And this is so crucial. People really miss this. If you don't have a strategy to retain your top talent, you're going to be churning through your trades, and it's going to become really frustrating for you. So you need a strategy of how you actually retain them. So ways of retaining people, again, it doesn't always want to be about money. You notice in all of this we haven't spoken about money, because that's not the main motivator for people. In order to retain them, one thing you have to come up with is make sure you have a training matrix set up. Now, what we mean by a training matrix is every year you should be looking at all your staff members and thinking, how can I upskill this worker? How can I give them more responsibility or get them skilled in another way? So you might think, well, how am I going to do that if I've got a carpenter that I've brought on board? He's already a fully qualified carpenter. What can I do? Well, there's plenty of things you can do. You can think about health and safety training courses that they might want to do. They might want to do a site supervisor role. They might want to do first aid, things like that. So these could be ways that they want to be upskilled and learn new skills and strategies, because they're going to think that's going to benefit them, not just for your business, but if they ever left you, that's going to help them going forward. So think about it from their point of view, and think about your own business, how you can come up with a training matrix, and have some feedback from them. What do they particularly want to be trained in? You might be surprised, but if it benefits you and the business, then make sure that's happening so they're progressing. The second thing you want to do as part of your retain strategy is have regular appraisals with your team. Now, often we think of appraisals are only for office workers. You think, oh, I'll do an appraisal for my project manager or my administrator, things like that. But appraisals are really crucial even for your tradies that you bring on board. And the reason we want to do that is because as we go forward with them, we want to make sure they're working exactly the right way, but they need feedback too on how they're getting on. So with an appraisal, get them to mark down how they think they're doing, you mark down how they think they're doing, and then you have a chat. And you can do this every 3 months or every 6 months, talk about what they need to do to improve, things you're really impressed with by them, but also give them the opportunity to say how they feel about you and the management team and any improvements they want to make. You can get absolute gold out of this, and people can come up with suggestions on how your business needs to improve. Remember, they're the feet on the ground, they're in the trenches, so they can see exactly what's going on, and they will tell you honestly if they feel that a load of other workers are slacking or you're constantly behind on materials so they're standing around. They'll give you all of that in these appraisals. So really important to carry these out, but it also helps retain people because they feel valued and they feel heard as a member of your team. So these are the 4 strategies: find, attract, sell, and retain. We've literally just touched on the bare bones of that, but we train this in full detail in our mastermind community. We go into all of this, and this is why our members are able to grow significantly. Some seeing double and triple digit growth through the years because they're able to bring in top talent. So I hope that's been really helpful for you. If you'd like to talk to us about how we can help you scale your company and help you find and attract top trades, then feel free to book in a call with us and we'll help you uncover the bottleneck that's holding you back.